Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Intro to Online Selling. Some of you may know that one of my hobbies slash side hustles is doing a little dumpster diving in the summer as the students leave. I find potential treasures and I clean them up and I stage them and I resell them on Marketplace. I find it so fun. And plus, I love that I'm keeping stuff out of landfills. I'm giving stuff a second home, giving buyers a great deal, and making a little money for myself. So I always joke with my husband, it's a win-win-win.
I knew about your
Um,
crafting, but I didn't know about that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah,
me
it's really
neither.
fun. It's super fun. I walk my dog in the morning, make note of like where the bigger things are that I have to pick up after I'm done with the walk, or bring a bag to put little things in. And anyway, it's a whole process. The summer's really busy with it. I have a lot of fun. Um, Now, for most people, I don't envision them going to the lengths of dumpster diving for a few bucks. But if you have stuff in your house that's ready for a second home or that you just want to declutter, online resources are like a perfect way to tap into an audience that's specifically looking for what you have, maybe. For example, my sister-in-law lives in rural Vermont and asked me to look for a used balance bike and a toddler tower for her baby. And I went straight to Facebook Marketplace and I found what I needed within a week, got a great deal on them. Kids just outgrew them, and parents knew that there was another generation of toddler parents that could use those items. So I got a great deal, and the parents were happy to get a little money and give those items a second home. So you might be asking yourself, and I struggled with this at first too, like what the heck does this have to do with AAUW State College or even AAUW's mission? And I'll say a couple things about it. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think there are a couple of reasons that the topic of online selling is important to us. First, I think it's really important for members to keep up with technology and improve their digital literacy skills. Everything from taking photos to using apps to various forms of payment. Knowing how to do something in one area might help you boost your confidence in other techie type areas.
It's true.
So that's one. And then two, I do believe that women are an economic powerhouse. And while our incomes may be limited if you're retired or even just working a standard 9 to 5, selling online gives women flexibility and a low stress way to earn money, supplemental income. There's no schedule, no boss, no ongoing commitment. So it's kind of what you have and using what you have. So, and there are a multitude of reasons, other reasons to sell online. It allows for decluttering and downsizing on your terms. It's a chance to reclaim the value of items that you've curated over time, which can feel really comforting and empowering. And like I've said before, it keeps stuff out of landfills for those of us who value sustainability. Um, so in this presentation, oh, hold on, I gotta, let's see. Oh, okay. In this presentation, I'm going to be focusing on choosing a platform for selling, mainly focusing on Facebook Marketplace, how to create a listing, and staying safe, and some tips and tricks I've learned throughout the years. So first, let's talk platforms. Where can you sell items? Me and ChatGPT worked on this handy little slide to get us started. I'll call it the big four. However, please note that there are definitely other platforms like Mercari, OfferUp, Craigslist, even Viva Engage that has like a Penn State yard sale group if you're a Penn Stater.
Hmm.
And all of these may have value for them, but for the purposes of this presentation, so that we don't get too overwhelmed, these are the big four. So first, Marketplace. I do 99% of my online selling on Marketplace. There's no fees. You can sell just about anything, and it's super easy to use. I will say that you actually need a Facebook account to sell or buy on Marketplace. So if you aren't into Meta potentially tracking your every move, you do have other options. Also, with Marketplace, you can sell locally and have people pick up or you can add shipping to ship across the country. So there's lots of options. To give you a general idea of what I've sold on Marketplace, I have some photos. So um, everything, I sell a lot of things for like $5 or $10, but I do have some bigger items in these examples, like rugs that I steam clean and sell for $60, or oh, hold on, oh, wrong way. Found a bunch of like bar carts last year, 5 of them, weirdly. Students are very into bar carts right now. And I can sell them for like 25 bucks each. Even like a pile of Penn State shakers for football. Everything has a
Wow.
price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and clothing too. I sell a decent amount of clothing on Marketplace as well. So next is eBay. Going back to that previous slide. I'd say this is more for like collectible items or maybe things that you would think wouldn't sell in this area. Right now, I have a collection of USA Gymnastics t-shirts on there now because I wanted to reach a larger audience that might be more likely to buy them. I think the state college market might be a little too small for this kind of niche sport. Um, Things to keep in mind, eBay does charge fees and shipping is pretty expensive, so it's not my favorite, but it's an option. We also have Nextdoor, which is another local website. You can get a lot of news or like recommendations for Nextdoor from Nextdoor, but they also have an area where you can sell items. Honestly, I've never used it, and the items look like they could be like hit or miss, like they're not, it's not as popular as Facebook, but it is free. And so if you're looking to kind of diversify your efforts, it might be worth a shot to post
So
them.
for next door,
Yeah.
my husband has gotten rid of stuff on there, sold it, or even given away some stuff for free. But I can tell you that like construction materials and things
Uh-huh.
go in no time flat on Nextdoor.
Oh, good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally, Poshmark. I've never sold, but I have bought. Like eBay, they do charge fees and there's shipping involved, so you have to decide if it's worth it. This is generally for like clothing and accessories. Angela, I think you've sold on Poshmark.
Yes, I have. And uh, the nice thing is their shipping fee is predetermined and it's basically flat rate. And you can use first class mailers like the flat rate boxes to send stuff.
Great. So yeah, another option. And then I mentioned this before, but if you're a Penn Stater and you use Viva Engage, which is formerly Yammer, sort of like online discussion boards for various groups. I use it a lot for work, but they have a Penn State yard sale group that I've had a lot of luck with, especially for items that I haven't gotten hits on in Marketplace. Um, it's a limited audience, but it is free and local. And like I said, there's a different audience there. So things that I haven't been able to sell or move on Marketplace, I've posted there and they sell almost immediately. It's kind of interesting what goes where.
Dina,
Um,
to
yeah,
sell on Yammer, do you need to be a Penn State employee?
I don't think you have to be an employee, but you need to have a Penn State email address.
Well,
And I can maybe give you the link to that to sign up if you have a Penn State email.
okay. I'm not sure who would have a Penn State email address if they weren't a Penn State employee, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
students
students,
use it too, right?
yeah, and retired, you can keep your email address, so some may
Right.
have it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now that I've shown you the options, I'm gonna go back to Facebook Marketplace and show you how I list an item. So this is my general my general Facebook when I log in, and then you can go on the left side to Marketplace and go to selling. And you can create a new listing. Now I'll look at this one because I actually just finally sold this one today. I've had it since like May and I refused to just give it away because it's so cute. This little joy sign, frame joy sign. Um, anyway,
So you were
so
strategic with that because you're selling it in the fall leading up to Christmas.
I guess, sometimes people pounce on stuff early, but for this one, whatever reason, just wasn't a hit. Maybe because it was only $5. Maybe that was still too expensive. Who can say? But as you can see, I have some pictures of it front and back. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so front and back. So taking pictures from all angles, showing any imperfections that may be on it. I mean, this one still has the price tag on it, for goodness sake. It was never used. Um,
Wow.
Yeah. And so you give it a title and a price. Facebook generally fills in the category, which I like because I like always have trouble finding the category I'm looking for. So if you do this title, it will come up with a category on its own. Condition, obviously like new because it still has the price, but um, good, fair are the other options. And I don't stress about things. If it's in fair condition, still list it. Because you never know what people are interested in. I always include measurements, whether it's a desk, a dresser, a fan, those plastic like 3-drawer totes. People always want to know the measurements, so I just put them in the message up front so they don't have to
Mhm.
message me later. And then a general place of where to pick up. I have no problem with people doing porch pickup, so we'll get into this in a little bit, but if they say, yeah, I can come pick this up, I'll say it'll be on the porch for you. You can Venmo me or leave money under the mat. And so we usually go there. So you can also include specifically if cash is preferred or only accepted, or if you accept other forms of payment like Venmo or Zelle. Um, We'll talk about this in a little bit as well, but I usually give a Venmo to people once they message me, my Venmo name. However, I found that international students don't use Venmo, they use Zelle. So they'll message me and say, hey, like, I don't use Venmo, can I have your Zelle? And I don't have a problem with that either. I've sold hundreds of things and I literally never had a problem. There were like one or two that were like questionable, but I'm not going to get upset about $5 and nobody's ever tried to steal money from me. So anyway, that is what the posting looks like. It's super easy. Um, I'm trying to look. Okay, so like this Knights jersey, haven't sold that. But I'll just relist it, mark it as in stock, and then Facebook will push it out again. Same with these shorts, they're bathing suits, men's bathing suits. Oh wait, no, wait, they're still going. Okay. Anyway, so you can go to your seller dashboard, look at what is sold and what is still available and just promote. I wouldn't promote anything. I don't think it's worth it for local stuff. That's just like buying an ad for your product. Maybe if you're shipping like nationally, it might work, but I've never had a problem selling stuff.
Do you
Anyway,
wash clothes that you're reselling?
yes, yeah, I always wash clothes and I always like look for stains. Sean is like really obsessive about worrying about bed bugs in clothing and like rugs and other upholstered
Oh,
items I
right.
bring home. I keep them on the porch. I worked in residence life for 6 years. I know what bed bugs look like. I'm not afraid. Like when I bring home stuff home, I'm pretty confident, but I can understand that he has concerns. So everything gets washed in hot water immediately. And then I look through everything and see, make sure it looks good and can be posted. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, that stain didn't go away. Chuck it. I tried,
Yeah.
So things like that. Yeah, I wash stuff. So once you've posted, Facebook will notify you when somebody messages you. 90% of the time, they're going to use a generic message. Hi, is this available? So before you give them any information, just say, yes, it's available. Tell me when you can pick up, and then I'll send you my address. Um, Weirdly, like 50% of people never respond after that. I don't know if they're bots or they just lost interest. So this is something important because you're not giving your address willy-nilly, and you aren't holding items for someone who has no intention of picking them up. So until
Right.
they respond with an actual message, don't give any information away. If they do respond with a pickup time, you can send them your address or pickup location if you prefer to meet them in public and confirm how they're going to pay. Like I said, I leave items on the porch and tell them to Venmo me or leave money under the mat. I've never had a problem with this, and for the stuff I'm selling, I try to believe the best in people. So that's it. So you've made a sale. Let me go back to my presentation. And I know I'm going through this really fast, so at the end, feel free to ask questions. Okay. Oh, there's some more stuff that I sold. Like these sweatshirts were so cute, perfectly
Yeah, they
fine.
are.
All the hats,
So
like,
Dina, were these all things that you found on the roadside, or some of them like from garage sales or something?
no, everything I found was in dumpsters and on on the sidewalks.
And you live in a good neighborhood for people putting things out, like
Yes.
especially when students are moving out, right?
Yes, I'm right downtown. I like there are big move out days like the Sunday after Arts Fest and the last Sunday of July, and I can make multiple trips. Like bring a load, drop it off on my porch, go get more, drop it off on my porch. Like I've got a whole
Wow,
system.
it's
Anyway,
impressive.
yeah, it's fun. Um, so we've talked a little bit about this, but obviously your safety and comfort are very important. I have a list here and I wanted to highlight just a few things about safety. First, I understand that most people don't feel comfortable sharing their address and prefer to meet at a designated location, which is perfectly fine. Maybe it's a grocery store, or like a coffee shop, somewhere with a big parking lot. In those cases, just make sure you're specific about how they're to find you. Like, I'll be parked at the end of the lot. My car is black and it has a luggage rack on the roof. Whatever it might be. You could also bring a partner or a friend with you just to tell them where you're going. If it's porch pickup, like I don't have to interact with the person at all, so I never worry about it. In fact, I like doing that because then they can look at the item on my porch and confirm, yeah, this is definitely what I want, or actually, this looks different than the pictures, which almost never happens, but they can, leave without pressure from me. So
Right.
that's important if you go in that direction. Keep all communication within Facebook, so never give out your email address. And never take any other weird forms of payment like checks or payment requests or links that anyone else has sent. I've never had problems with this in the hundreds of sales that I've made, but I understand it's a concern. And until you do more sales, you might not feel as comfortable with the process. So that's just kind of something to know from the get-go. And then lastly, I just wanted to leave with some tips. Oh, I'll also add that I don't know if oh yeah, some good tips for success. Okay. So you can read over these, but I'll also note that online selling isn't the only way to declutter or minimize in your life. Joining your local Buy Nothing group to offer items to people in your neighborhood is a great way to do that. Um, these are a lot of small things that maybe like aren't worth selling, but people still see value in them. Most recently, I got a set of measuring spoons from a neighbor. Probably not something I would buy online, or I didn't even necessarily need them, but it was something I kind of wanted, and these were really cute pewter spoons. So when a neighbor posted she had an extra set, I grabbed them. I've gotten clothing, Tupperware, craft supplies, food, home decor from Buy Nothing, and I've given stuff too. So unused things of paper towels, napkins, paper plates, um, home decor things, stuff like that. There's a market for everything if you just know how to get rid of it. Um, and then I'll also mention that Facebook and Marketplace and Nextdoor are great ways to advertise yard sales as well. So That's a totally different beast and a lesson for another time. But again, there's a built-in audience in these places already for yard sales if you're looking to publicize them. And so that's just what I have. So I know this might seem like a lot of information, but I absolutely love the game. I love the hustle. And if you want to get started, just let me know. I'm happy to spend some time with anybody to decide what things might be worth to help you post and make that money. I've helped a few friends now, and I'm always happy to share my skills and to teach other people. So I'll leave it at that.
So, Dina, when you price things, do you uh, are you experienced enough now that you just do it? And did you start out by like comparison shopping around to see how things are selling at what price?
Yeah, so in the summer, because I stock up so much stuff, I'm trying to sell things quickly. And so I'm selling them at a very good price. Um, so I don't compare necessarily what other people on Marketplace are doing. It's just what I feel like the value of the item might be worth. You can certainly look at, similar items on Marketplace and decide if you want to price lower or somewhere in the middle range. Um, you have to decide for yourself, are you trying to get rid of this item quickly or make the most amount of money for it?
Mm,
And so there's a give and take with that. And there's no like science behind it. I have a friend who posts a lot. I'm not gonna say she has a lot of stuff in her home and she'll sell stuff and then notice that somebody resells it. That has happened to her a couple of times and she gets so frustrated. But it's like this is a game, this is the hustle. Like you still made money, you still won because it's out of
yeah.
your house. But she didn't make the maximum that she could have apparently, and so can be a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's a prioritizing game,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Good question. Anything else?
The only thing I would add is maybe a primer on the common uh, like initials that you might see, like NWT and NWOT and
I don't think
ISO.
those are.
Oh, NWT, like new with tags,
Oh,
or
okay.
new without tags, or
Oh, okay.
ISO is in
Oh,
search of. So somebody might post to Marketplace for something, but if it says ISO, they're hoping to find a seller of that thing.
Yeah. Good
is
point.
there, I have a couple questions. Is, so like on Facebook Marketplace, is there, what's the word limit to describe? Do they have word limits like you would for a classified ad or something?
I've never experienced a word limit. I've included like a couple paragraphs, like if it's an item that I've found online and I can cut and paste the description, I'll do that from a website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question is for pricing. Well, is there, aren't there some of these places you can post a like a minimum price or what? I'm sort of thinking about strategies for pricing. Um,
You
can
can
you,
say or best offer.
right.
You could say
Sometimes, you
$20 or
know,
best.
here's one example.
Yeah.
I was cleaning out my son's former bedroom the other day and I found this rubber Yoda puppet from like 1984 that he played when he was into Star Wars. And right now it's on my front porch with some Halloween stuff because it's a pretty cool little thing. But anyway, my husband said, "Oh, someone's going to want that. They're going to steal that." I don't know if that's the case, but I looked on eBay and it's for sale for $50, 40 or $50. Now, a lot of times though, is it true that, I mean, that's what they have it posted for, but a lot of times that they don't sell that, right?
Right. Yeah, you can look at the comps to see how, like what similar items have sold for as opposed to what they are being listed for.
Listed for, okay.
Yeah,
So when you search on eBay, um, it might not automatically show you items that have sold,
right.
but you can filter. If you go to the little
Oh,
like
okay.
filter my results section, you can filter by showing only items that have sold to
That, I
see
think that would
prices
be
that were
far more
successful.
Right.
valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on eBay, you said.
Yep.
So Tina, yours sounds like it's just all like, with the porch pickup system, it's you don't have any cost involved in like shipping stuff. So is that another filter? You just type in, um, local zip codes or something?
Yes. So I guess I can show this one again. You can choose local pickup or local and shipping or just shipping. Um, hold on. Here you go. So on the second page of the item listing, um, public meetup, door pickup, door drop off, if you want to bring it to somebody, which I don't know why you would do that. Or you can also do shipping. And Facebook helps you estimate shipping costs as well.
Most
So like
people
this,
probably really stay away from shipping anything, wouldn't they?
yeah, shipping's so expensive. Like
Yeah.
this little frame sign is $5, and you think I'm gonna have somebody pay $9 to ship it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I
who wants
almost
to do it
bought
that way?
something the other day that I wanted related to Halloween. It was going to be $15. Um, and then, it looked great, whatever. And then I put it in my cart, and when I went to pay, it said that the shipping for it was $20 more.
Yep, yeah.
I think it must have been from England or something. I don't know what that was about, but I dropped off pretty quickly then.
Yeah. And you can see if you are shipping something, Facebook does take a cut. So something that I listed for $5, after shipping, you only get 363 because covers
Oh,
payment processing and support. But local pickup does not cost anything.
I think you are in a superb location for what you do. So,
Yeah.
so you think of this as part of your annual income then, right?
I mean it's not like huge, but yes, like, it
It's a
gives
nice
us,
little padding.
yeah, some frivolous money for a few months to go out to dinner and whatever other expenses there might be.
It's your
I
fun
I
money.
love your
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
about how this applies to, members in our group. I think they're all very legitimate.
Yeah.
Um, and I wish more people had come to this, but maybe when we share the link, they will.
Yeah, and I mean this is not just for decluttering. Like I have sold my t-shirt pillows, t-shirts that I cut up and turn into pillow forms on Marketplace as well because Etsy charges a fee. So if I can sell it on Marketplace without a fee, I will.
Right.
So it really depends. If you have something to sell, you might be able to sell it this way. Again, like yard sales are, this is a great way to publicize things like that. So you don't have to use this just for one-off items, and it doesn't have to be things you already have. It can be things you're making, creating, doing.
I think that, like in our group, a number of us really are actively downsizing because we know we're going to have to sell our homes within a few years. And what do we
Yeah,
need that china cabinet full of, grandma's dishes or whatever?
right, right.
So that's why I thought more people would have attended today, actually. But
They'll watch the video later
Yeah.
or
yes,
not.
And
exactly.
those of us who are of an age to be inheriting those houses and things that you are purging, we're grateful that you're purging.
Yes.
Yeah, we have some cool stuff to donate or sell or whatever, but finding the right person is the key.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it does give a lot of peace of mind too, that knowing that it's going to a good home. And that's the difference between like Marketplace and like Goodwill. Goodwill, you drop it off, you have no idea what happens to it. It may make it into the store, they may not see value in it and get rid of it. But Marketplace, if somebody's buying it, you know that it's somebody that appreciates what you
Yeah.
had.
Huge difference. Sometimes
Yeah.
at Goodwill, I'm watching them toss stuff into the dumpster as fast as they're receiving it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like, for your purposes, Facebook Marketplace is number one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I don't
Do you
think I
want
have
to
any
sell?
more questions, but I really appreciate you doing this. Add some value. Why not?
Thanks for attending, Connie.
Thank you, Dina.
Yeah, thanks, Dina. I'll get this recording up. You okay with it being listed publicly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And if it's okay with you, I would put it in the next bulletin.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks a
All right,
lot.
everyone.